And let's see.
Live.
Hold on. I'm having trouble here.
Shows live on our end.
Yeah, we didn't go live to everywhere that we wanted to. Hello, everyone. If you are joining us, please make sure that you say hello in the comments. Tell us where you're watching from. I'm trying to get we have another stream that's supposed to be going up, but for some reason it's not going up. So I'm not sure what the deal is. Anyway, oh well, we'll just let that go. So if you are on and you want to make sure that we know who you are on the comments, please make sure that you give StreamYard permission to put your profile in so I know who you are, because right now there's a "you are amazing" here, which thank you so much. We so appreciate that from a Facebook user, but I don't know your name, so I can't call you out. So on, please say your name and where you're from, and we would love to shout you out. And my friends here, I'm so excited to have them here. So these are my friends, Deb and Brandon Yager, and they are incredible coaches, and they do a lot of training with different coaches, particularly business, health coaches, all across the board, any type of coaching that you might be in. Well, actually, I think any business, right? Pretty much any business that you might be in. You guys are going to want to check them out because they have a special thing going on just for us at Paleo FX, and I'll put the link in the comments here shortly. But I'm going to give you a really quick bio, and then they're going to tell you about themselves a little bit more. So they are, hold on, I just did this incorrectly here. They are advanced in NLP mastery, and they have been leading the industry for over 10 years now. They are reinventing the way NLP training models, reinventing the NLP training model, adapting it for the modern day coach and entrepreneur. Through their holistic approach to life, they incorporate the spiritual, mental, emotional, environmental, and social aspects of human society into an integrated philosophy. So thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so excited to have you. And just to let you guys all know this, Keith and I are planning on training with Deb and Brandon soon. We're doing our training. We're going to be doing a hypnosis training at the beginning of October, and then we're going to be doing a
practitioner.
I couldn't think of that word. Practitioner training at the end of October. So we would love to have as many of you guys joining us as possible. But welcome, you guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you, Michelle. We love you so much. We love Keith as well, and everyone at PaleoFX. This is our dream to be a part of PaleoFX, and because I know that you're all about integration and making sure that people are living in a holistic way and hitting all the aspects of life. And NLP and the quantum time techniques, hypnosis, and the coaching model that we do is just so much in alignment with what you're already about.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, we love certifying coaches, working with entrepreneurs. Really, the key is just getting conscious of all the blocks that we're not aware of, and so that's what we do. We help people become awake to what they do not know about their business, sales, communication, behavior, all the fun stuff that can sneak up on you if you don't pay attention to it.
Absolutely, and the bigger mission and purpose too is the movie that we're playing in right now, we all are here for a reason. And I believe everyone has a portion and they have a gift to share to make a bigger impact. And part of our program helps people discover and unlock what they're naturally gifted at and why they're here. And then gives them a systematic approach to then grow business around it, build it, make a difference in people's lives, as well as monetize it and scale it. And, you know, you already are supporting and having a community around people that are fully actualized in their gift and what they're supposed to be doing. So what NLP will do for them is just add a process to it. The human aspect, the clearing aspect, the awareness aspect, the influential aspect of communication, to where you can literally navigate through any sort of landmine that's thrown at us. And we can actually coach people and inspire them them and empower them to, make a bigger difference in the world. And that's what we're all about.
To truly monetize your gift.
Yeah. I know it sounds cheesy, but that's what I believe in.
Absolutely. Of course.
Well, and this is the thing. What's interesting is a lot of times, coaches, particularly, I know the health coaches, go into the business because they love what they do. They love helping people. They've usually had some big, huge transformation that really changed their life. And now they want to give back, and they want to do this because they want to, change someone else's life and health. And at the end of the day, a lot of times what happens is that they are really passionate about what they do, but they really don't know how to run a business because they've probably been working for somebody else for quite some time. And the other thing is that a lot of times I see that they really shortchange themselves when it comes time to get paid for what they do, because there's a tad bit, and I can tell you this is something that Keith and I have had ourselves, is a tad bit of an ick factor around making money when you're doing something to change somebody's health. And I kind of had this big, huge light bulb moment, so did Keith, a few years ago, where it was like, no, in order to impact more people, you got to make money. You got to make more money to impact more people, because I know our vision and mission was super huge, was to impact millions of people's lives. And to be able to do that, you have to have a big platform. You've got to have money to be able to run that platform. You have to be able to do all of those things. So I am really excited for you guys to help all of our people go through the process of, those limiting beliefs and all of those things. So can you guys tell really kind of, for those that may not know what, obviously hypnosis, most people know what that is, but talk about that in regard to NLP, and really tell them what NLP actually is.
Well, hypnosis is part of NLP. So NLP originated from the process of modeling excellence and different types of therapy as well as behavior. And essentially what it does is it cracks the code of what's going on inside the operator, their beliefs, their values, the steps, the processes, and the things that they're doing that's creating success. Now you can reverse that. And so you can also figure out when somebody isn't getting the result, you can also reverse it and figure out what's holding them back. And the key is the linguistic part of it. And it's also the programming part. So if there's an operation somebody's running that isn't getting them some success, then through hypnosis and the quantum time techniques that we teach, you can go back to the root cause, rework it, install a new strategy to then create success instead of what they keep creating. And so the cool thing about money is that, like you said, in our paradigm and the construct we live in, there's a lot of people that are triggered around money, sex, and sales, and they're all tied together. Those are the three most triggered words that have a shit ton of story that's connected to it for most people, that they either don't want to talk about it, they feel incongruent about it, they don't know what to do about it. And the thing is in business, they're all tied. And I'm just going to say that, yes, sex is tied to your money. I know that sounds like an interesting thing to be in the business hat. However, they're all tied together. That's why we say it's a holistic approach. So really diving into what is holding that person back from prospering in their business. And is it a sales communication thing? Because sales is not just, one-on-one sales of getting leads in, but it's also influencing your team, getting them all aligned, influencing yourself for success. So sales is across the board as a lifestyle for us.
I think influencing your partner would be a good thing too.
Yes.
That's kind of handy, right?
For sure. And sometimes it goes great and sometimes it doesn't go so great. And so how to be able to get flexible in your behavior to get those end results. So NLP literally can be plugged and played in any area of life to catapult somebody's success, but it also goes and it helps people reprogram stuff at the seed level that is holding them back from showing up in their, their greatness, essentially.
We're excited to train with you too, Keith. Yeah, and this ick factor around money, we've all been telling ourselves a story that we picked up from our past. We picked up beliefs from parents and family members and, first time jobs, maybe school played a factor in that. And so asking for money, or money is dirty, or this evil, dirty thing that we kind of need, but it's like, I'm uncomfortable with it. I don't really want to talk about it. It's not a vulnerable ability as far as an area to just open up and share what we think about it, how we feel about it. So, for those of us that aren't getting results in our life, we just look back at decoding through NLP, just different techniques, different tools that we have of decoding what's going on and the belief or the story that we tell ourselves about how we show up, how we make money, how we ask for the order. Maybe we don't ask for the order and our business is suffering from that. So all these different things that, that get in the way of truly becoming a very successful entrepreneur or business owner or coach.
Yeah.
So these are all things that we look at, as we training people.
People have been hypnotized, essentially. I mean, that's what all these constructs have been installed in. The fear porn that goes on in the media and the construct of, money brings more problems, or it's the root of all evil, or it's tied to greediness, control, power. It's hard to make it like these.
Or I make a lot of money,
then I lose it all.
I make a lot of money, but I don't keep it all.
A shoe will drop every time I have success, then some shit hits the fan, right? These constructs, these are things that have been hypnotized into people that are creating a program that's operating unconsciously. The cool thing is that you can rehypnotize yourself into greatness and to believe that money is amazing. It's fun to make and it's okay to make it. In fact, it makes a bigger impact on the planet. And for those people that do struggle with making money, I talk about this in a training and I can prove it to you. It is actually your spiritual path to lean into that shit and let it go and be free from it, and then harness the energy, because money is just energy, just like sexual energy. It's just a form of energy. And if you're damming the flow of that creative force, you're damming it in all aspects of life.
Yeah. Powerful.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ouch. I don't know if that hurts some of y'all, but it kind of hurt me. I was like, ooh, okay. Well, yeah. Let's undam that flow for sure.
Yes.
Well, I can tell you guys just from my personal experience with having had time with Deb and Brandon, we've done some stuff like timeline therapy and different things where you were kind of mentioning it just a little while ago about taking out a program and then putting in something new in its place and everything. And Keith and I are actually reading all of our stuff to get ready for our training. And it's been fascinating so far. So tell me a little bit, if you can. One of the things I was going to ask is we've already been talking a little bit about hypnosis, and obviously we can use hypnosis to our benefit. And currently there's a lot of hypnosis happening to all of us to be controlled. So is it mind control? And if so, is it dangerous, or is it how can it be good for us if that's the case?
Yeah, I mean, hypnosis has been used on people for quite some time. It's also a tool for healing, and NLP in the Pentagon and in marketing and propaganda. They use it in all the elections. It's being used every single day in the media.
It goes back from the beginning of time.
Yeah. And it's influential language it creates trance. And when trance happens in the individual, the person that's producing trance in the individual, the person's gatekeeper, which we call the critical faculty, is gone. And so everything is installed without any sort of, critical awareness. Now, it can be used for benefit too. It's kind of like a hammer. You can build a beautiful retreat center that changes people's life with plant medicine, or you could use it to injure somebody terribly. Right. And so my response to this, because I hear this in every single training, is like, well, isn't it for, manipulation, mind control? Well, yes, it can be used that way. If you understand what it is and you recognize the patterns that are being used, it won't work on you.
Yep.
So, and then you can also utilize it, just like I said, for transformation, rapid transformation at the unconscious level.
And the easiest way to look at it is what hypnosis is. When you break it down, it's simply following instructions. I mean, it's that simple. And if you don't follow instructions, then as far as a level of rapport that's open up, so you're opening up and you're really talking and communicating to the unconscious mind to install and embed powerful, healthy, loving suggestions. And so if there's something that, for an example, a salesperson, if you don't build enough rapport, you're certainly going to open up to their suggestions of why they should buy this service or product. And so it goes exactly to the media. Are we being hypnotized by things that, aren't healthy and well for our being, or are we actually buying into something that, isn't going to get us where we want to go? Versus, are we hypnotized like for health and wellness? The main thing with health and wellness is the physical aspect is huge, but what about that mental and the emotional part? Because we use hypnosis, especially in our 3-day, we talk about locking in the learnings and how, smoking cessation and weight loss, body dysmorphia, all these things that are going on at the unconscious level for the emotional and the mental aspect. We can work out, we can eat healthy. And there's so many pieces and aspects to it that we don't talk about because we're trying to consciously lose weight. We're kind of consciously trying to eat better and be healthy. There's a huge unconscious piece there that is really the domain of what makes us up. So if we're not bringing that piece in, change can actually take a lot longer, and then this happens more rapidly.
Yeah, absolutely. And hypnosis was something that was taught in the beginning of all time. And then when they found out that it was so powerful and allopathic medicine came into play, it was taken out. And anything that was talked about in the field of hypnosis was considered quackery, which is very interesting.
Or the field of energy.
We go back through the history of it, and it's
the field of energy
in itself.
Just drummed out of
for like 350 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and again, coming back to propaganda and language patterns, those things were taught originally in school: logic, rhetoric, breaking down the code of language. And now it's just not taught anymore. And so, yes, it can be used to manipulate masses. Again, we talk about in the training, though, somebody can never force somebody to do something under trance that they normally wouldn't do. But it's great for marketing because they know 50% of the people are actually looking to buy a car, or the people that are watching TV, half of them are probably hungry. And so when the Big Mac pops up, then they're like, ooh, I'm hungry. And so it works that way, but it won't force somebody to do something like rob a bank if they weren't already planning and scheming to rob a bank. Then it would activate it.
That's interesting. Well, I wanted to know. So whenever you were talking about that. Oh, wait, I did want to add one thing, that with this training and everything, they also threw out critical thinking.
Yes.
Critical thinking. So that feels like, to me, just so far from what I've been reading and everything, that through all of the stuff that I'm reading to get ready for your training, is that really you are getting back into your critical thinking and actually really revving that part back up too, which I think particularly the United States right now could use a really heavy dose.
Yeah.
Amen, sister.
Critical thinking is kind of an important piece.
What did you say, to pivot in your business or to live a happy, healthy life? Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you tell people how this can really like change their lives, and what kind of success stories that you've had with some of the people that you've trained?
Absolutely. It just depends on which success story do you want. Miracle healings in the training, or people prospering their business, breaking up with losers in their life, finding their love of their life. I mean, there's pretty much a complete, we have a plethora of testimonials and everything, because it is that applicable to everything. I know that sounds really general, and it is. We've had people heal things that they've been diagnosed as, chronic illness or terminal illness. Mm-hmm. We've had people let go of addiction and chronic body dysmorphia and binge eating. We've had people, which is my own personal story as well as Hannah's personal story. We've had people let go of rape and trauma and PTSD. We used to work with war vets, and we've successfully helped many, many war vets let go of their PTSD and have it stay gone for a long period of time. And then on the flip side, we've helped people prosper in their business by doing it. After our last practitioner training, we had, I think, combined by our students in the pandemic, or the plandemic, whatever you want to call it.
Within the first 12 days after our 7-day practitioner training that you guys are coming to in October, mm-hmm. I mean, we had basically over $60,000 that was generated from coaches taking our training. And I think that's important to mention, is the container that we put forth during the training. It's a container that just is conducive to opening up to new beliefs, empowerment, confidence around money, and techniques to actually break their clients through. Whether you're a business owner or a coach, we really are all coaches when it comes down to it, because we're coaching team members, we're coaching spouses, business partners, whoever. And so that's important. That's extremely important in that process of being a better coach, communicating with yourself, communicating with others. So it's that container that I think we put together that is it's a spiritual container, but at the same time, it's such a container that it's transformation. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
We had $60K in revenue of these coaches that never had coached before in their life, attracting and closing $10,000 clients, which is really, really amazing. One of our master practitioners just did a launch. She has already 4 people in her group coaching program. She's doing $20K a pop.
20K breakthroughs.
Yeah. Because the tools and techniques work. And so the cool thing is that when you're working with a client, you can sit across from that client and know with certainty because of the breakthroughs that people have in the training, because people have PTSD in their training, every training that we have. So these students get real live experience in a safe container to where they feel confident to be able to charge what they're worth when they leave the container. Plus they get the coaching and the sales component and one-on-one component with us and the team to where then they can go out and make it happen and make money doing it and break through those selves at the same time. That's the most important.
What we've done is we've broken down the process, this template process of everything that's going on in your mind, your physiology, your state. We break it down to what you're focused on. And based on that focus, you'll produce behavior. And whatever that behavior is, it'll give you a result you're really, really excited about. And you're like, yes, I'm getting results. Or a result that you're like, you know what? My results kind of suck. And that's what we look at is where are your results? And then we trace it back to behavior, trace it back to your focus, and then break through a whole strew of stuff in between that. Believe all kinds of stuff.
Okay. So if you have questions, please put them in the comments and I'll make sure that Deb and Brandon answer those questions. Okay, I'm going to have to be completely honest with you. My ex-husband's cousin, Deb and John, and I have to really think about that every single time not to call you that. Weird. So, because for years. Anyway,
we're going to reprogram that, Michelle.
Okay. So this is my thought process, though. So if you have questions, please put them in the comments and everything. And then if you're watching this on replay, please #replay and then share this with somebody you think this could help. But I'm going to go into this specific piece, and that they actually don't know I'm getting ready to ask this question. I did not prompt them on this at all. So this is my thought process around this. Right now, we have so many parents that have been now forced into homeschooling their children. And I have found, I know a lot of people personally that have children at home that they're suddenly now homeschooling kids that they had no anticipation of this happening. And then of course the whole situation with whether or not there's reopening or if they're going online or they got to wear the masks or they got to do the physical distancing, all of these things, that there's a lot of parents that have made the decision that they're not sending their kids back. How could this help parents? Because I'm kind of feeling like if I was a parent right now that was in this situation, that I would want this kind of training because this could, help my relationship with my child, but also get the results that I need from my child, but also make sure that my child actually has a system and a process and tools for them to actually move forward in life and be successful from day one and not have to do all the crap that we have to do as adults to get rid of all the programming. We actually get them where they are, the programs that are happening for them are actually beneficial, not having to undo all the crap that they get told at school.
We so wish they taught this in school.
Yeah.
That would be so amazing.
And one of my things that is on the list, because we just created an international board of NLP. And part of that is I want to have an academy branch for children. I'm probably not the person to design it because we don't have kids, Though I would love for somebody to come through the training that is wanting to do that and create a homeschooling program just around NLP, because kids get a hold of it even faster than adults.
They do.
Because NLP and hypnosis and the time techniques are all about active imagination. You know how quickly a child can just jump into their human avatar and access everything they need in the right moment? And that's what NLP is. It's like activating your app screen on your screen. You can move around your pictures. You can fantasize about this, jump into this human, and then go out and create this behavior.
There's dozens of techniques, little mind hacks for kids that they love it. Just something like visual recall, like being able to recall a book they read, or flashcards, or studying. It increases learning, increases recall. And that's partly the thing with ADHD. We don't really believe in ADHD as much as it is a focus issue of there's different types of learning. There's kinesthetic learners, right? And if you try to feel spelling words, you can't really spell in kinesthetic. So they haven't been taught how to access certain parts of the brain through eye patterns. And so there's lots of things that we teach that are amazing for kids. We've had a few parents that come through and they're like,
well, we had a 13-year-old that was getting D's and F's, and we taught him the simple timeline technique of how to put goals in his future. We taught him a couple other frames. And immediately after that, he started getting A's, and he was a kinesthetic learner. And see, the thing is that, and I have a passion around this because I was labeled as a disenfranchised learner, and I struggled a lot. And I believed that I was stupid. I couldn't read or write at the age of 29. And then I realized I was just doing a shitty strategy of learning, and I wasn't stupid after all. And when I first came through my practitioner training, it opened up my whole world. I read out loud for the first time in that training. It was such a breakthrough. And so like NLP is teaching kids how to learn for their unique way. And I believe that every child is a learning learner. They just have a specific strategy that's probably getting in the way of them accessing their gift. And NLP will teach them what their gift is to where then they can learn in the way they're supposed to. There's another strategy called Hakalau, which is peripheral, which helps kids that have ADHD. It helps adults retain learning and memory. It helps you at test time recall everything that you need to know. So there's all these amazing hacks that kids could learn from the beginning, plus critical thinking and understanding language that would, have them catapult into the future of their dreams at a very fast rate, and actually do something they're meant to be doing versus doing what they're told to do, which is all the programming at school.
Well, and this is the thing, the learning that children get at school is generally, and it's my experience because, obviously my children were in school and I was the PTA president at their school and everything. I was very, very involved. I was there all the time. I was constantly in the classroom. I watched how everything worked. And particularly here in the state of Texas, we teach to a test. We teach to what they call the TOS test. And at the end of the day, it's regurgitation, not actually learning. And so this is not stuff that ends up ultimately being retained and used later on in life, really. At the end of the day, I guess probably one of the only things that they probably retain, hopefully, is some math, possibly a little bit of science, history. We won't even go there.
Oh, God, it's terrible.
That's a whole nother video.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so the thing is that I really feel like this can be so super potent for children, particularly, and like I'm just feeling the pain of some of my, like Melissa, who just said she's losing her mind as a parent. Melissa is actually my assistant event coordinator. Is that right? Yeah, she's the assistant event coordinator. She had multiple hats and multiple titles, honestly, but she is pretty much running the show right now at Paleo FX. And the thing is that, and she's doing a beautiful job of still taking care of her kids, being able to run the company, doing a lot of the stuff that she's doing. And so, but I just feel like, man, this would be really, really great for her, especially because her kids are really close in age and they tend to like bombard her at one time. When it's time for her to have a call, with me or whatever, it's like, that's the time they need mom.
Yeah.
So, and I know she just like, she's ready to. So I feel like this would be something really great. And yes, she is a freaking rock star. We totally love her. And you guys, if you get a chance to have any contact with Melissa whatsoever, and she is she speaks to our main avatar at PillowFX, because our main avatar is a mom who is really fiercely concerned about her children's health. She wants to make sure they get the best, all of those things. And so she speaks to that avatar for us, and she's just amazing. And so we absolutely adore her. And she's like, every freaking time. Yes. The thing is that I really am like, I feel so passionately about this, just simply because there are some things that I've already had breakthroughs on, which have been really impactful, to make a huge difference. I can tell you there's been times throughout this pandemic that have really gotten Keith and I down, mainly because we are so passionate about our people. We are so passionate about our attendees, about our exhibitors, about our sponsors, about our speakers, all of those things. And for what has happened, particularly through this pandemic, it has been very stressful, and it's been very disappointing to not be able to deliver for them this event that we are used to delivering. And so we have massive plans, and Melissa is busting her ass. I will say she's totally busting her ass to get us ready for our virtual event, and then ultimately our live event for April of next year. And we are super excited about that, because we miss our tribe. We miss the opportunity to come together. And so I just really feel like this is an opportunity right now to do this kind of training is so important, because the mindset change, the changing the patterns, changing all of the programs, getting rid of the constructs, all of that stuff is stuff that Keith and I are spending inordinate amount of time really researching and understanding how all of this works. And that we're just super passionate about it, and really want to make sure that our people have the best possible. And you guys, I'm telling you, they are the best in the business, and what they are currently creating, because you just went and did your final master. I may have all this screwed up. I don't know.
Yeah, I finished. It's like the PhD of NLP. I'm really super proud of myself, because I never went to school. And so for me, that was the top of education. And it's more than that for me. It was the journey of really learning what it meant to be a master trainer and a developmental program. And so we offer that for our students as well.
Yeah, you will. I'm just like super excited about training with you guys. And I'd love for as many people, we love you too, Melissa, by the way. I saw that message. I'll post it up there in a second. But I want to ask you too. So this is the thing that was really like super intriguing to me, is that in the middle of all of this pandemic, your business freaking took off.
Yeah, I think that's a true testament to the techniques and everything we teach, but it's also our lifestyle and how we help people apply it right into their life, relationship, communication, sales, business. It's the difference that makes a difference. I mean, it truly is. I think you brought that up. It's like, it's the mindset, it's certainty. We are very uncertain about the market. We have no idea where we're going to be in a year or two. And we really don't give a shit, because our mindset, we know we will figure it out, and we have the confidence and that certainty that we'll connect with the right people. We will figure it out. I mean, that is really what it comes down to. And I think when you've got that kind of awareness of your communication skill set, your sales ability, because that's what we really are all doing, is it's all the process of influence. And that's all sales is we wouldn't make the kind of money we make if we can't help people. And then what's even more powerful is if we help other people learn how to make money, that is freaking amazing. Like that's one of the things that's created our business and why since this pandemic, we have blown up. And that's why we just launched or just shot an online course, because it's going to be a game changer for people to get in control of their mindset and their skill set so they can charge what they want to charge. And kind of back to how we open this thing is, if you're not charging what you want, these are the skills, these are the tools you need to be able to confidently charge what you want and still do what you love. We talk to coaches every day. They love coaching people. They love helping people. They want to break them through and transform lives. And they're not making the kind of money they want to make because there's a self-worth thing there. There's something about money that's getting in the way, that once you unlock that little thing, it's like a skeleton key. We're calling that in our training. It's like the skeleton key that unlocks so much that it's a game changer.
Yeah.
So I can tell you guys, so I've actually already started working, with Deb and Brandon. See, I got it right. Brandon, around some money blocks that I've had. And we figured out through some timeline therapy that my money blocks actually came during my birth. Now let that sink in for a minute.
Whoa.
During my birth. And I went back, talked to my mother, and tracked that back. And now we know where that came from so that we can go and undo that and retrain me to not have that thing. And I know there's a lot of people who think that, oh, PillFX is, rolling in money and blah, 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 blah. And you're probably, I've had people tell me they thought that we were millionaires, and I'm laughing because if you had any idea about how the event business works, and particularly this event, it's been fundamentally successful from day one. Fundamentally, on paper, it looks really great. In the bank account, not. And the thing is that it's because we have delivered, and we've not actually done the work to actually. The thing is it's not that we think that we need to necessarily go up on prices or anything like that. So I don't want a bunch of people freaking out. What we've done is we've not made the deals for our event. We've not made those deals correctly to make it actually worth it for everybody and for us. And so those are things that I have to get out of that mindset. And so I'm super stoked about that we get to go do this work and actually do this. But the big thing is, and I've been a big Zig Ziglar fan for a long time. I got to go see him in the 80s, which was really incredible. And this is what's super interesting. I got to go see him in the 80s because my company sent me to that. But I had this belief system that self-development and doing work on yourself was for people in the upper echelon. That was for people that were up here. I knew my company sent me, but one of the things that I really love about Zig is he says, if you help enough people get what they want, you will get what you want. And so I really wholeheartedly believe that, especially with this kind of training, is that this is the best possible way to do it. Is you help other people get what they want. You get rid of your blocks. You get rid of all of these things, all of the limiting beliefs, the mindset, all of the stuff that gets in your way of your flow of money. This is the other piece, and we've talked about this many times, is that if money's an energy, but it is also a relationship. And if you don't have a good relationship with money, then you are absolutely repelling it. And that was something I didn't even really recognize, because my whole thing was I blamed money for all of this shit that was not right in my life. So I was repelling money, and this is one of the blocks that was unlocked for me already. And now it's like, oh, okay, now that part of the flow, there's other stuff that I got to work on. But I'm just telling you, I'm so passionate about particularly our audience, our entrepreneurs, the people that are in the health and wellness space, because of the fact that you put so much heart and soul into what you're doing and into helping other people. Help yourself first, like on this part, so that you can really help people and you can actually keep going. Because I've seen so many times where health coaches can't keep doing what they do because they just don't make enough money, because they haven't unlocked these blocks. They haven't gotten rid of this. And so I just really, really hope that you guys really check this out, because tell them a little bit. Actually, wait, I'm going to go to a question real quick. Hang on. Can you speak to the idea that coaches are great subject matter experts, but they fail at the art of coaching? A big difference between the two.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of confused about the question.
But they fail at the art of coaching, a big difference between the two. So
experts versus coaching.
Yeah.
Well, there's definitely a process to coaching that will get you very fast results. Part of that is actually walking the walk in integrity. And so doing your own inner work. Our training is focused to first, it's of course, make the money yourself as well as tune into yourself. So our training is really focusing on having that personal and professional breakthrough in the training. Like we've already started the process with you, but then keep teaching you the structure of how to coach with that gift. Every coach is coming into it, especially in the health world, they usually have their expertise. And that's fantastic. That's what makes you unique. However, the coaching is the language, it's the structure. It's how you take a client from the initial discovery. We believe that the coaching process actually starts in the sales enrollment call, and actually empowering them in the sales enrollment call and what to do and how to task them out of that call to start having the success, kind of like what we've already done with you. Before you've even gone to the training, you've had breakthroughs. And then what to do with your expertise in the coaching cycle to not only have them break through the physical plane, let's say if we're talking about health coaching, but also have them have a spiritual breakthrough, a mental, emotional breakthrough, and then an environmental breakthrough. Because if the environment and the social environment does not change, then the change will not last. And so there's a specific blueprint that we teach all of our coaches that gets results with every industry. And I hope that answers the question.
He said, boom, yes, that's it.
And it's really being an expert in behavior, because when you're in the sales process and you start talking about money, guess what?
Oh, their shit comes up too.
Behavior comes out and it's right there in the client's face. And so it's we always like to say
and their sales stuff comes out.
Of course.
They're like, I don't want to be sold.
all the little behaviors come out, and there's so many of these habits and behaviors that come out. And so, there's a lot of coaches that are like experts at experience and they've been through a lot of things. And yes, those are very helpful and powerful to have a coach that's gone through that. But I look at it as it's less about the content and just the structure. It's like, it's not so much as far as what you've done is if you're committed to letting it go, you can let it go. There's a lot of processes that we take clients through that it's content free, which means we don't need to go back in and relive, that terrible, horrible experience, the trauma, whatever it is. So it's not teaching people what to think, it's teaching them how to think. And as a really good coach, if you're say, hey, do this, it's more like, hey, if I teach you some techniques that are going to teach you how, like critical thinking, teach you how to think around these objections or obstacles, we call them, then you can get through anything if you've got that right mindset. And if you've let go of all your past shit, when you let that go, anything else that comes in your reality, now you go, cool, I can look at it for what it is. I can get the learnings and I can find a strategy to go around it or go through it or over it, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Clayton, and this is the second time he's asked it, and I was just getting ready to go back.
Hey, Clayton.
How are you?
Anyway, so tell us about breaking boards and the significance.
Yeah, Clayton was he was at our master practitioner in July. He got to take photos of the happening event.
By the way, one of the photos that he took of you two is absolutely gorgeous. And Clayton is an amazing photographer.
He is.
We had a photo shoot with him yesterday, which was so much fun. And
an amazing photographer.
So the board break, huh?
So as you know, Clayton, if you heard part of the speech is that, and you know this too, Michelle, now, that the unconscious mind is highly symbolic. Well, the unconscious mind is what we're working with because the 95% of our day-to-day behavior, habits, skill set, emotional reactions, belief systems is all stored at the unconscious level. And so your unconscious mind, by having a board that you signify, you make it as like your world, right? And you put out all your dreams and your aspects on one side. And then on the other side, we have everything that's holding the person back. So by the 7th day of the training, we do an NLP modeling project and we teach them how to break a board in less than 45 minutes. For some of them, they even make it as a 1-inch board break. And by that, it
significantly?
Yes.
Signifies. That's
signifies that when they break through that board, everything for one is going to happen and they're going to let go of all the stuff that's holding them back. And I got to tell you, every time that I've done a board break, in every training, everybody gets their goals, 100%.
So you put all this stuff on one board, on one side of the board, and then all this stuff you're going to break through that's holding you back. Maybe it's a money block. Maybe it's charging more money.
Maybe it's confidence.
Maybe it's confidence. Stepping
maybe it's
into
drug addiction.
Maybe it's empowerment. Yeah, maybe it's drinking, whatever
maybe
it is.
Maybe it's a condition, right? The label, right?
And you just metaphorically, you break through it. And so
physically and metaphorically.
We teach people the modeling process. And it's simply a process of modeling, which is modeling excellence, right? You take the best and you leave the rest. And that's business. So there's a lot of things that we do great. There's things that we're fixing to do better. So it's constant flexibility and evolving of like what works, what doesn't work. And you're modeling, taking pieces of everything that worked great and say, cool, how can we rework the stuff that maybe we're not getting the best results in? So
we've had 90-year-olds break that board.
Yeah.
9-month-old pregnant women break that board. We've had every walk of life break that board. And usually in every training, quite a few people come up to me and like, I don't know if I can do it. I'm like, trust your unconscious mind. You know, NLP, you can do it. And they do it. And by them having the fear and them doing it anyways, it proves to them that life, a lot of times you do have fear and doubt in yourself. You got to move through that anyways and focus on going all the way through it.
We do that in our 2-week long master practitioner training. And it's a pretty intense training. There's some quantum health aspects to it that really
German new medicine, quantum healing,
takes quantum healing and quantum health to a whole nother level. It's probably one of the most fun trainings that we just love doing it.
We also do full body catalepsy. We do a stage show in hypnosis. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's a pretty badass training.
We also teach 3 days of Clairvoyance, values levels, and spiral dynamics, it's the game changer.
And we actually teach people in that training the process of a coach to actually how to do an 8 to 10 hour breakthrough. And the process to do it, to go all the way through with a person in the room, you find a partner that you're going to do a full on coaching breakthrough with, and then we switch. And so that in it of itself is basically what we do with our high performance coaching and charge thousands of dollars an hour. You can do it in the training and get that hands-on experience. So I think we've seen that be so invaluable for coaches. Like it's just, they love that piece to it where you tie it all together.
That training is where we've seen people get their eyesight back, getting their hearing back. We've seen people walk away from 40 years of chronic pain.
Public miracles.
Public miracles. That's what I put it in every goal, because we always set goals before the training. We call it a chi ball, which is an energy ball of all of our wishes and dreams for that container.
Yeah.
And we always put miracles, a live miracle in the training. And we see it every time, public healings of people walking away from conditions that they thought that they would have it forever. It's really cool.
This is what's interesting. And so I'd love for you to speak to this. And I'm hoping that this question comes out actually correctly the way that I want it to. So we know, a lot of us know that the unconscious mind is like, when you look at like an iceberg, that the conscious mind is the 10% that's sticking out on the top, and there's the 90% down on the bottom. So we have all this unconscious stuff that's running the show, if that's correct. And the problem that we have is that because we haven't been trained to train our brain and our unconscious mind for the patterns and the training and the things that actually will serve us, we are trained all kinds of stuff. You're trained with your limitations. You're told that you oh, that's impossible. You're never going to do that. That's not, it's kind of like you feeling like you were dumb and you couldn't learn anything. These are the things that happen like in school. There's, fortunately, there's a lot of people, we hear the stories like, Michael Jordan was told by his high school coach he's never going to play basketball. And he turns out to be possibly the GOAT, So the thing is that if we don't have the training to actually undo those even as they happen or, after they happen and everything, it seems like we end up becoming a slave to the unconscious mind constructs and programming.
Yeah.
And so that is why for me, just the thought processes around all of the unconscious training and programming and constructs that I know that I've undone through, already working with you guys, through doing the plant work medicine, doing the plant medicine work, doing all of the different things that I've done as far as self-development, that type of thing. It's like, and I am still not there. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm really looking forward to this training, is because I'm ready to get there. I'm so tired of trying. I'm like, the problem is that you can undo the constructs, but if you don't have anything in place to put in place for that new programming, that new plan of action, the new everything, you don't have that to put in place. You can keep undoing the constructs, but they're not going to, it seems like a lot of it is not going to really work.
We were never really taught how to think. And we always say it's just an untrained mind. We haven't trained our minds how to think successfully, how to act successfully, be successful, do and have success and getting results. And that's really, that's the start of it, is realizing, okay, cool, I need to get some more tools.
Yeah. And knowing that the unconscious mind, he or she, depending upon the gender of the person, and it's not necessarily gender specific, is actually wants to serve you. It's like a 4 or 5 year old child that's looking up to you for instructions. The problem is the trainer, let's say if it was a horse, right? The horse trainer was a terrible trainer. It's put in a terrible environment. So it's just reworking these strategies, these constructs that have been trained into this horse. But the horse wants to please you. It's like the part of you that is like looking up to you for instructions. And yet we're not taught how to talk to ourselves nicely and how to love ourselves and how to reprogram ourselves. And so that's what this does, is it in talking about the Huna piece, because we're full initiates in a practice called Huna, which is a shamanistic practice of Hawaii. And so we've integrated this into how we work with the unconscious mind. The conscious mind of us, which is like the parent, needs to be a loving guardian to the unconscious mind, so the unconscious mind can grow up to become the conscious mind, and our conscious mind can grow up to be the higher conscious mind. And so that's this whole journey. And from my point of view, yes, we can continue to clear. There's always going to be stuff within the unconscious to discover and unlock, though. There's a place where you clear and there's a place where you create. And so the more that you clear, the more you create, because the more learnings and wisdom you have from your inner truth that you already know, because you're connected to source anyways. And so the aspect of getting clearing to get learnings to then create is what we do. It's like this feedback loop. We go back in the past, get learnings from it, downloads and wisdom, and then we go out and create based upon the wisdom. And sometimes it goes in reverse order. Sometimes we go out and create, and then we find things to get the wisdom. So it's like this paradoxical thing that we're doing all the time. In that aspect, I'm okay with clearing for the rest of my life, because that means I'm learning.
Right. So tell me, I want to be mindful of your time and everybody's time and everything. If you have questions, please put them in the comments. And if we don't get to them tonight, I will go back and make sure that Deb and Brandon answer the questions for you. And I'm putting the link in. Can you tell us about the training that we're going to do, the special training that we're going to do next week?
Yes. So we're going to teach you all about your unconscious mind in this training. We're going to teach you about the conscious mind and the unconscious mind. And we're going to help you unravel some patterns that are holding you back. And then we're going to do a process in the end. It's called a hypnosis mind mapping technique, where we're going to put you down in an induction, which is what we teach in our 3-day hypnosis training that's coming up in a couple of weeks. And it's a way for you to go and connect directly to your unconscious, to discover some of these blocks and remove them very, very quickly. And so we thought it'd be a fun way for you all to get a taste of what we do. I know that you can't do that in 1 hour. However, we can definitely make some headway and show you a little bit of magic at the same time.
It's really beginning to build rapport with your conscious, your unconscious. So many of us are conscious. We want to try to consciously think our way out of things and consciously solve problems. And the conscious mind is our creative side. It's very important. And it's paying attention to the unconscious more than we ever have, getting in control of paying attention to the signs, the emotions. Negative emotions aren't bad. So many times it's like, oh, you feel bad. It's like, it's a sign. And so we help unlock that, build rapport, bridge the gap between the conscious and the unconscious so that you can go create. Let go of the stuff that's not that's not serving us, that's holding us back. Beliefs, the story that we've been telling ourselves, the story that somebody else has put on us and that we are walking around somebody else's belief.
Our little unconscious mind's playing out the role of everyone else and not ourselves. And so, yeah.
And really hypnosis it's about, there's going to be, we talk about the breakthroughs. So, if someone's struggling with smoking and we've got a smoking cessation, how to quit smoking, weight loss. It's fantastic for health coaches, health and wellness coaches, anyone looking for personal growth and personal breakthroughs in themselves. It's the emotional, the mental piece on steroids. It's amazing.
The hypnosis that we're going to be teaching is great for money blocks, for sleeping, for performance in any way,
sleep,
for creativity, like you said, weight loss. And there's also a paradigm that is fabulous for pain control. So one of the things that you can do with hypnosis is you actually can numb your body. So you could go to the dentist and get work done under trance and you wouldn't feel it.
And it's
incredibly powerful.
It'll speed up the healing and it's a pain control. It's essentially a natural, holistic way to work with pain. And I think go back to sleep, because sleep, that's something that we've had people come through our trainings, and there are so many people that struggle to get great sleep on
my own personal story
on a daily basis or weekly. We know people that sleep maybe 2 or 3 times a month. Like they're like, yeah, I slept 2 hours last night. We're like, what? And they're like, yeah, that happens every other day.
A lot of times it's connected to anxiety, and hypnosis is great for anxiety.
It unlocks that. Hypnosis is fantastic because it's people out of rapport. They are in a problem trance. They are out of rapport with their own body. It's like they're living in this body and they don't know what's going on. Something else is in control of it. And there's a lot of clients that tell us that come through and they learn these techniques and they say, this is the first time I'm actually able to get sleep. By listening to
years,
by understanding the breakthrough around sleep and just getting the mind calm and quiet and conducive to actually healing and creating performance.
Man, that's so cool. So it's interesting because my former mother-in-law would do a self-hypnosis, and she was able to do, and y'all, I have like no clue. I'm like, there's no way. I was just like, there's no way. She would go in and have complete oral surgery. She had a very specific gum disease that was inherited in her family, and she would constantly have to keep going in. She'd have to do this. I think it was like every 9 to 10 months or something. She'd have to go and have this oral surgery where they scraped her gums. That sounds really exciting and fun, doesn't it? And she literally would hypnotize herself, and she never ever took anesthesia. And in fact, she ended up having a stroke at one point in her life. And they found out that she had an aneurysm, and they needed to go in and operate. And she did not want them to do anesthesia, y'all. She was going to do this. And they were like, no, we really have to give you anesthesia. She so did not want it. She was like, no, I can just do, this hypnosis. I don't need to do that. And they were like, yeah, no, we're pretty sure we can't do brain surgery on you. So I mean, I know personally that it works. So anyway, now it's because I've watched her go through that and totally was fine. And I know another person too that did a similar thing, hypnosis and a really deep meditation, and did not have any anesthesia. So I wanted to, okay, the link here, if you will, the link is in the comments for you to be able to sign up for that training for next Tuesday, which is, I'm super excited that they're going to do this for us. And let's see, I've got several things to put up here. You had me at anxiety.
Melissa.
Yay.
That's awesome.
Yes.
The Hannah's story about earlier this year when you helped her control the pain when she injured her leg, that was amazing.
Oh
Yeah. Hannah also let go of binge eating and in the third day of our practitioner training, and has never done it again. She was she talks about this. She was a vegan bodybuilder, and she was binge eating very unhealthily, and she felt guilty around it too. And so she got control of her food halfway through the training.
Yeah, Melissa mentions natural births. Hypnobirthing is becoming a thing. It's on the map now.
Yes. In fact, we have quite a few doulas that have been through the training that add hypnosis to their toolkit to help hypnobirthing.
At home births.
And speaking of the aneurysm, there's a technique that we're going to teach you in practitioner. It's actually an Ericksonian technology, and it's a story about switchboard operators where he tells a story to a person that's been under a stroke. And it's a beautiful story, and we'll give you the whole script to it. We've had 3 or 4 people test it out and had success where people were in a coma and they got in connection with the unconscious mind, tell the story.
All while maintaining
connections.
Wow.
And they were able to regain consciousness and started to heal. So, because the unconscious mind is listening when you're sleeping.
Yes.
So you can do this with children if they wet the bed. You can tell stories at nighttime. You can put them in trance. Kids are great for hypnosis. There's so much application.
Yeah. That sounds amazing, and I'm sure Melissa would love to hypnotize her children.
Trance is great for hyperactive kids, by the way.
I don't know that they're hyperactive. They're just pretty normal, high energy kids. But
all kids are hyperactive because that's what they're supposed to be doing, is running around and playing. They're not supposed to be locked inside.
Well, and if you're already telling your kids stories around bedtime, you're already starting to understand what hypnosis is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge part of hypnosis is storytelling. You're putting your child, into a great deep trance, and all of a sudden they go to sleep, they pass out. And that's a form of hypnosis. And there's ways to embed and install powerful things that'll help them go to sleep and wake up refreshed and, feeling better than ever. So it's really cool.
Awesome. User, we love you so much too. We wish we knew your name so that we could shout you out. And then Melissa, defiant and strong-willed. I know those children. That sound just like mine. So
that's going to benefit them in the future because they won't let anybody tell them what they can or cannot do.
Oh, it's Cole.
It's Cole.
Hey, Cole.
Hey, Cole.
Hi, love you.
We love you. We miss you,
girl. I miss you.
Cool. So, okay, if you know somebody that could really benefit from this, please share this video. And if you're watching in the comments, please #replay. Please share this widely. And the link again is here in the comments for you to be able to sign up for that training for next Tuesday. And what all do they need to do when they're signing up? What else is going to be involved in that?
They just sign up and then they get the link for the thing, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Just sign up.
Just sign up.
Just sign up. Anyway, just wanted to make sure we had if there was anything, all it is your email, what have you. It's a free training. You guys, I think you're going to be super excited about doing this and just like really learning from Deb and Brandon because they're just amazing people and super excited to be working with them ourselves personally. And this is the thing with all of the pivots and us not knowing what's going to be coming down the road. It's really great to have great tools in your tool belt for all of these different shifts and changes in what's happening in the world because who knows where we're going to be. I mean, like, none of us could have predicted we'd be here at the beginning of 2020. We all thought this was like, this is my year. Everything's going to be amazing. And let me just say, I don't want to say that I think that things have not been amazing, because I completely believe that all of this has happened for a really great reason, and that we have I just really believe this is one of the most exciting times to be alive as a human being, because we have the ability to completely and totally create whatever it is we want in this next paradigm. And we've been talking about this for years at Paleo FX. When all of the systems that are no longer serving us get dismantled, we're the ones that are going to step in and create all the brand new stuff. And guess what? It's happening. I would have thought it would have happened in another few years, but it's happening now, and that's pretty cool. So we get to do this now. We get to create now. So, you know, get it in and get an opportunity to work with Deb and Brandon to really unlock your potential, because, and I know that sounds super cliche, you guys, but honestly, our potential has been locked down. It's been suppressed. And so much of it's suppressed because we are running programs, and we are running all of these things that have been told to us, all of these constructs that are built. And this is the stuff we talk about with Ta and Cole as well, is all of these constructs are the things that are not serving us, never have served us. And we get to undo all of that and create whatever we want. And so I'm super stoked to be working with them and learning from them and getting this kind of training and being able to put these tools in my tool belt, because who knows how we need to pivot and shift and everything for the future. And so I'm really excited. And I'm just going to say this, if they've been this successful during a pandemic, I'm going to listen.
We live in some exciting times, and yeah, I mean, if we got the skill set and the tools,
yeah,
anything's possible.
I love what Cole said, and I hope that she doesn't mind me prefacing it, but she's like, the people that really are doing the work are going to shine right now during these times.
Yep.
And I believe that it's, you know, we're walking the walk. Of course, it hasn't been all sunshine and freaking roses. You know, we've gone up and down, but we're doing the work, and we're clearing, and we're making sure that, you know, we're staying with integrity, and we're making sure that we're helping people break through. And again, it comes back to helping people make money. And I'll end with this. I believe with certainty that the people that have money are going to have more freedom in the future. And I know that sounds weird, and I truly believe it, because money allows you to do certain things.
The resources to help others.
Exactly.
That's key.
Amen. And that's we're really super big on that too, is having the ability to have money to help others, and be able to just do what we do and be able to impact people's lives. And, you know, and also I would love to be able to just pay Melissa so she can just take over Paleo FX and
put that in the goal.
Yes.
Other things. So that's our plan. Anyway, so you guys, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I'm so honored to be working with you guys. Y'all, please check this out. You don't want to miss it. It's free. You have like nothing to lose. And who knows, all of the entire wealth and the life and the amazing dreams that you ever could want could be yours. And, you know, I would definitely reach out, and I would go to that link and get on the training next week. It's going to be epic, and I am super excited to see all of you. And again, share this with somebody you think that this could really impact, a health coach, any type of entrepreneur, any kind of coach, any kind of mom that's now at home homeschooling her children on top of trying to work, like poor Melissa. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much.
Love you.
Love you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Love you
Thank
all.
you, Keith.
Thank you. Love you, Paul.
You guys have a great evening, and see you guys again soon.